about having such a strong run with your
No,
main.
he's already made it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in anticipation, he knew. He had the vision.
Ready to go.
Come on, man. Come
He
on.
had the vision. He knew he was getting to winners finals. He knew he was facing Snake.
And yeah, a good point from chat as well. AK does not have the best record versus Me Gunner in recent times.
Nor do I.
Losing, well, do any of us really?
Who's ready for this?
Losing out to Capitan Cito, I believe, back at Low Tide City a couple months ago. Uh-oh.
Interesting choice of costume, of course, and voice, apparently.
Elijmin has, I know he has like a different Me Gunner every single time I see it. I don't know how he decides how to make this, but this is certainly something. The KK slider body with the Wario hat. Sure.
Yeah, it's a mixed match of character here.
And, like, let's be real, how does Snake approach through this? Like, he is doing unto Snake what Snake does to the rest of us.
Wow. Well, that's the thing, too, is that we usually see Snake cut up camp, but I haven't actually even seen quite a few grenades come out from Snake at all. He's really trying to get in his face. I don't think he can afford to do so. Can't believe this. Only in Canada you're going to see a Me Gunner in winners finals.
Yeah, who remembers that, I think it was called Path to Glory in Saskatchewan?
In Saskatchewan, yeah, the Midwest.
The reverse 3-0 that Great made against Elijmin.
Crazy.
In like one of the longest sets I've ever seen.
That final game on Kalos like gave me like nightmares.
That haunts me. I was watching from my hotel room at DreamHack.
Oh my God.
I could have been out partying. I was watching Me Gunner versus Snake.
What a time. Okay, 150 on the board for all things considered. He could be in a worse spot. Never mind, loses first dog.
Yeah, he's on his Sigma spam set.
Well, that's the thing about Me Gunner can afford to do so. The amount of projectiles he's able to throw out with almost borderline no lag is almost a little bit absurd.
Okay.
And I've made this comparison before, but I feel like it's just so apt. Like Me Gunner, and specifically this style of Me Gunner. Oh, he has reflector.
Yeah,
he has absorber.
Yep, yeah,
that's
one of the things that makes the matchup challenging if you have that variant of option on Me Gunner. It almost feels at times designed to beat Snake specifically.
Oh, he didn't pull me up too.
Had the roll read too. A little bit confusing last hand. Can't even lie.
That's because I think we all thought that it was going to be the reflector on the down B, but actually the absorber for the grenades, because the explosion does count as a healing.
Yep. It does. Elijmin able to go, I think he was at like 140. He goes down to 100, repeats the process, but finally an untechable off to Nikita. And what I was saying, this is literally just, you got to practice this game in Toho. You can't grind this matchup in the training room. You can't grind this matchup in friendlies. You just got to play some good old bullet hells.
Yeah, I think it has to be like that. Thankfully, he has about, he has a few games to do so, at least 3. So,
and it's honest to God, guys, like with this specific build of Me Gunner.
Hang on, we're in a church. You got to be careful with saying honest to God.
With this specific build of Me Gunner and the traits that he has, it's not even the most complex game plan that Gunner has to have. You have to literally run away from Snake and just spam whatever you're going to spam. It's not complex in the slightest. Of course, Elijmin is quite the player, so he's in a good spot to have that aspect as well about this set.
That's it. It's not complex, but it's certainly effective, as you see in the early going. So we do see Snake with a bit of a lead right now until he takes away himself.
I wouldn't put it past someone like AK to do that on purpose to get up there and maybe make something happen.
There's top player things we just don't understand.
Well, I understand that pretty dang well. He just runs up and up tilts. But to kind of talk about that, like sometimes, Occam's razor, the simplest solution is the best solution. And in the immortal words, keep it simple, stupid, and it'll work. Oh, he pops out of the F smash.
That might have been the stock. It's not really the strongest F smash. Obviously, it has a tremendous range, but so does that up air, as it does take him off the top.
Well, it has tremendous range, and it lingers forever too.
100%. So fair enough, it doesn't kill super early. It'd be kind of busted.
Yeah, if it killed super early, I think we'd see a lot more Me Gunner than we do now.
Just waiting. I like that wait from Apollokage, opting for the down tilt to connect.
And good adjustments from Apollokage. I've seen a lot of Snakes, if they can't do their game plan, they just crumble apart. Apollokage able to flex in and actually play the aggressive approach.
And AK not the most veteran of players, only started playing Smash Ultimate post-quarantine, and Smash Ultimate is his first Smash game as far as I'm aware. So usually, you don't see these young players with that much patience. You see it's the old guys, the veterans, the brawl vets, who are able to do stuff like that. But AK, he's a fast learner. He's picked on it.
Okay. Absorbs that and brings himself back down to 112%. Of course, AK still having him on the ropes. That up tilt will not connect, but Elijmin in a little bit of a better position than he was probably about 15 seconds ago at least.
Okay, AK did start playing pre-quarantine. Chat is informing me. I'm lying again. Let me get away with it.
It was such a good fact too.
Yeah, let me.
It sounded so good on paper.
I'm lying for the sake of the story. Let me get away with it.
We're rewriting the script now.
Shout out to the script.
He's actually stayed at 111% for the longest time, not because he hasn't taken damage, but because the reflector keeps setting him back there. Yeah. And the further you get away from 160, especially against Snake, the better. As he does have that throw combo into up tilt that's confirmed. Gets that back air, doesn't even need anything to clean it up. Again, good Apollo. We saw that guns blazing. Me Gunner was doing some work, but again, Apollokage, like I mentioned before, the wherewithal to flex his different styles, play the aggressive snake.
Beautiful stuff. Yeah, gets that low to the ground back air to connect on that commitment option from Elijmin.
And that game one, all too important in a set like this, because if you lose game one, that is crushing for morale for AK. And he prides himself on the can-do attitude, the never give up isms. But
just to build up on that last, sorry to cut you off, but one thing to add as well is again the fact that he's in the driver's seat even more, because even if Elijmin does swap to his tried and true main, it's such a good time for Solid Snake. So I mean, winning that game one for Act, double dividends paid, if you will.
But he's going to stick it out with the Me Gunner. Obviously taking Town and Sea, that is a huge stage to work with. It's going to make it all the harder for Apollokage to approach this thing, the Wario KK slider.
Great way to put it.
I saw somebody in chat call it the Mariachi Gunner, and I think I like that one.
We'll go with that.
Good.
KK's got his good old guitar out.
Well, especially since we're on a Sunday, we're not going to see the presence of the actual KK slider, so this is going to have to do.
True. He gets to take Sundays off. AK gonna try and get back up onto stage, but just eats an air. I've said this before, and I think it bears saying again. Why did they give Me Gunner Smash 4 Cloud Nair?
Thank you. Yes. Especially with a character that just obviously prides itself on being a distance demon. The fact that he has a nice get off me tool like that Nair, it's a bit criminal.
Reno gets that up smash out of shield, and it will connect.
That's taking a very early stock right now, considering he's only got 34% to his name.
PS2 already a very big stage that we played game one on. Town and City even bigger, and Elijmin making really good use of that added space to just do the Me Gunner thing.
I've seen players, like even in our own region, where some will play like a mixture of Jigglypuff and Kazuya, which on paper is like, that is the weirdest set of characters to have. But now I think it's been topped by Shulk Me Gunner.
Shulk and Me Gunner, yep.
It's Me Gunner just for Snake.
Just specifically for Snake. And it's been working so far.
Yes, sir.
You're down a game, but this one's looking quite promising.
Ooh, looks for the jab mix-up on shield, and Elijmin has yet to be punished for any of these down throws. He just like gets up and then does not care.
Yeah, not
okay,
too perturbed.
Goes high, but has to get past the onslaught once more, and does so. But he's taken 127.8% of extra credit, and that is not a good place to be in when Elijmin's just going to go right back to the corner and right back to shooting those bullets.
Even though it has had mixed results right now, I actually do like the approach from Apollokage, especially when the super missiles come out. He's doing these little short hops over, playing almost like a mini game of like Donkey Kong back in the day.
Yes, sir. Back turned, of course, that back air doing a great job. That's that up smash on the platform. Now he's elevated. AK, the mind is moving, the gears are turning, gets that C4, and it will kill off the top. What a scintillating stock. Hermit, you talked about the approaches. I mean, that one was really varied.
Okay. Keeping it close, though, is Elijmin.
Lead? What lead? Neither one of these players going to be able to hold on to any semblance of one for any sort of time.
No, sir.
0-0 on both. First person to take a bigger one is going to get a lot out of it, because we've seen them both able to turtle pretty heavily throughout their careers.
Okay, that Nair going to beat out Snake dash attack somehow, some way. Fair?
Uh-oh.
Oh, got a sticky on him. Yeah, he knows he can absorb it. He's going to try and play with it, but
it's on to AK now.
Transferred back.
I don't think he knows. Tried again to absorb it.
He doesn't know.
I don't think is it even on the stage anymore? Okay,
right
it's still on Snake.
Yeah, Elijmin understanding that it's on Snake. He wants no parts of that character.
Oh, it moved again. There it goes. It finally.
Oh, he timed it out.
Yeah, it auto detonated. Very well played by Elijmin, and if that, up you go.
Yeah,
I think if he didn't get that heal off of that C4, that might have been the kill.
Yeah, our game of tag has now concluded, and we're going into the kill round.
My favorite playground minigame.
My favorite playground minigame. When we start throwing missiles and grenades at each other after we finish our game of tag. Do you guys remember that? Or is that just an American thing?
Definitely an American thing.
You might be on your own last. But I mean, this is a battle of attrition if we've ever seen one all day today, and it's coming down to the wire at the very least.
Yep, I think you said it best right there, Bashmo. Definitely a war of attrition right now. They're picking their spots right now, and they're building a wall.
Wait,
oh, I've seen that before. That's the up air peeking through the stage. Doesn't quite get it off, but that could have been such a sneaky way to steal this game.
Same general concept as Rob's up air. It's long, it's disjointed, and it goes high, but yeah, on a regrab. See ya.
Yeah, the double dip got a little bit too greedy on that one. You kind of showed your hand a bit too early, and going for it again, you've got to imagine Apollokage is not going to fall for it again.
Sharp's just a little bit too hard.
He had it scouted like without even a second thought when he saw it the second time. He's like, yeah, I got to Nikita, and it has the words the letters ELI on it. Brandon, it's for you. Boom. Got him out of there.
AK showing off. What is in that can? Show it to the camera again, AK. Let us see it again. Is that Naruto?
I believe.
It is Naruto.
My man AK
That might
got
be
the Naruto on the can, but he also has the
Is that G
The
Fuel?
pants on, I think he's got the Naruto G Fuel, the Naruto pants, and the Luffy straw hat. My man cannot pick a franchise.
He's giving us clues. He's saying, I might feel more like Naruto today as opposed to Luffy, and I don't blame him, man. You know that Sengan. It's a powerful attack.
Taking it straight back to Town and City. Again, I think just because of that little blunder at the end, like I said, you showed it once, that was a good option, but going for it again, I think it was a bit too much, considering he had a decent showing in that second game as well. Well, sometimes you risk it all and it just doesn't pay off. He has one more chance to really bring this back.
Unfortunately, sorry, go ahead.
Obviously, Apollokage has shown his worth in doing a reverse 3-0s, but maybe it's possible that Elijah might do himself.
What I was going to say, unfortunately for Elijmin, as Bashma pointed out during the first game, his game plan's not all that complicated, doesn't have all that much nuance to it. So if it ain't working, there's not much he can do about it. AK is just going to be able to win that out.
That's it. We've already praised, even in the early goings, Apollokage is able to flex in and out, but I think the Meat Gunner plan has been found out, and he's not really sure of how to take the game from here.
You know, I mentioned it like really briefly, like going into the set before we saw the Meat Gunner come out. He's been playing incredibly hot in this tournament, but he's done it primarily, actually, if not entirely, with the Shulk. And sometimes, you know, we as players, you know, we try too hard to reinvent the wheel. Not saying he shouldn't have went Meat Gunner by any means, but I mean, perhaps the Shulk in Game 3, when you're down 2-0, maybe would have been worth giving a shot. Who knows?
Yeah, especially with the character you got there. I can't imagine he's had too much warm-up with the Meat Gunner as opposed, and to bring it out in the winners finals like that cold, oof.
I would hope he would have at least gone off to the side, picked one of the setups, grabbed a friend or two, and warmed it up before going for it in winners finals. But if maybes and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a very Merry Christmas. And that's not what's happening here.
Snake on the healthiest percentage right now, but unless Elijmin's able to find a kill, even these projectiles aren't going to do too much. F smash, even from across the stage, I mentioned before, not the strongest, but I guess at that percentage, something's got to give.
AK, though, not really going to let that get to him too much. He's just going to keep on swinging into Elijmin's face as he makes his way over the onslaught of projectiles. But Elijmin fires back this time, and he's able to get a couple more hits to bring us back close to even until he gets back thrown straight into that C4 waiting.
You know, one thing Snake is good for is putting on that damage in a hurry. The damage output is just wild. Gets that grab.
Oh, waiting. So sneaky with the movement, just waiting for an option.
Ooh. You can tell Elijmin's not an actual Meat Gunner main because all of them are obsessed with fair movement. And he hasn't been doing it.
It's a move that spaces itself.
Ooh. See ya.
Another strong back air for Apollokage against the Gunner. It's paid him some big dividends in this set, guys.
Yeah, the back air we actually see out quite a bit right now. He's usually waiting for an option when he gets up close, like that forward smash, though. Put him into a lot of lag, and then the back air will just clean him up. Again, loving the patience from Apollokage in this approach, because I think that's what Meat Gunners want the most, is to frustrate their opponent.
Now, of course, it's not as evident in this matchup, but this is still Snake. He loves playing the trade game when he's got a lead, and AK is going to be more than happy to do it as long as he holds on to the stock, but he might not be holding on to it any longer if he's not careful about falling into those F smashes. Ooh, just keep poking with the down tilt. Ooh.
Yeah, I love that tomahawk idea. I think he expected to get hit by a back air there, so instead went for a grab.
Oh my goodness, he charged that thing up pretty much fully.
Oh, and AK calls out the spot dodge too with a quick little grab. Pushes Elijmin onto the ledge, but he's able to regain center pretty quickly, and back air's not enough to do it.
Barely with an excellent DI from AK, gonna get back to the stage via the platform on Town and City. Shout out to the assist.
That platform makes or breaks games, depending on who you are and when it comes in. Not going to be all that critical for this one, though, and that's going to be a quick little dash attack to punish.
Yeah, like I mentioned, usually when he gets up close, he kind of throws out a panic option to get him away as fast as possible. Does get punished there, but does clean up with the stock as he recovers back to the stage. Last opportunity time for Elijmin on his last stock right now, but Snake very healthy on his last one as well.
98%, not going to be able to live too much longer, especially not on Town and City, and now we get to play tag again. It's everybody's favorite game.
It's looking like a Squid Game of tag right now.
You're it.
Wow, that was incredible. I have no words to describe that whole sequence. There's just beautiful positioning, gameplay, and option selection from Apollokage.
Beautifully played overall, and Apollokage knocks Elijmin into the loser's bracket 3-0. Moves on into grand finals himself, where he will be awaiting one of 3 remaining players. And of course, to intro 2 of those, let's toss it over to River.